So as we just declared through the closing lyrics of our song, we're called to be on mission with our God, spreading the gospel to the world. And today is Faith Promise Sunday. Before we begin our presentation, the missions team would like to take a moment to thank Pastor Merle, who has led this team in all its different iterations for somewhere around 18 years. He's still serving on our team, has passed the torch to Tim, but I think we should take a moment to thank Pastor Merle for that leadership. Tim has also faithfully served our church on this team for somewhere around 18 years and has now stepped into the position of our fearless leader. So I'd like to take a moment for all of us to welcome Tim to the stage as well.
Thank you. Good morning, Caledonia CRC. My name is Tim Jelsma, a member of the Faith Promise missions team of this church. Every year, we give an update on how we're doing as a church, supporting our local and global missions, and give a picture of our plans for next year. On behalf of the missions team, council, and all the missionaries we support, I want to express a sincere thank you. You have been faithful in supporting our missionaries over the past 38 years through Faith Promise, and we have met our goal for 2025. There's numerous new members, both online and in person, or new attenders to our church who might not be members yet, who may be wondering, what is Faith Promise? I will give a quick explanation, and if you have any other questions, feel free to hit me up or anyone else on the team at any time. At this time, if you could pass down the brochures and the pledge cards that are in the end of the aisle, make sure every family gets one. Faith Promise is one of the ways Caledonia strives to carry out the Great Commission, to go out into all the world, to share the gospel of salvation and make disciples of all nations. We do this both locally and globally. This past year, you supported 16 different missionaries and 3 mission organizations. You can see their pictures and a brief description of them in these brochures. The missionaries you support are located here in West Michigan, different parts of North America, and all across the globe on 4 other continents. Most of the missionaries you support also have direct roots back to Caledonia CRC. Whether they are sons or daughters of this church or a relative is a member, we just recently had in our service Kim and Michael Hewitt. Kim is a former worship leader at Caledonia. Matt and Sarah Smith were just here several weeks ago as well. Matt and Sarah were and still are members here while they serve in Guatemala. Sarah Webb will be speaking in a couple weeks, and her parents are members here. There are so many direct connections right back to Caledonia. We also use Faith Promise funds to support short-term mission trips for members of Caledonia. This year we helped Allie Vanderhyde go to Guatemala with a group from Taylor University. Seth Miedema and Nick Koster both were called to serve through YWAM, and you helped to support them. It is powerful to see God calling our youth to serve Him in ministry, and our church is so supportive with prayers, letters, notes of encouragement, and financial support. One new addition to Faith Promise this year is Jeff and Shannon Husa. Jeff and Shannon work with Ethos 360. They spent several decades living among the Mibu people in Papua New Guinea, translating and teaching the Bible to a group of people that had never been exposed to the gospel. They are currently living in Phoenix, Arizona, where they continue to translate the Bible, as well as developing discipleship lessons and other teaching materials for the Mibu church. So you ask, how does this process work? So there's the pledge cards. First, I ask you each to take the pledge cards home with you today. Talk about it as a family, pray about it, prayerfully consider if or how much you are able to pledge to Faith Promise in 2026, whether it is a one-time gift or a monthly contribution. The Faith Promise team uses these pledges to develop a support plan for 2026 for all of the missionaries and the mission organizations that we support. Second, fill out the bottom portion of the pledge card and return that bottom section of the pledge card before December 31st. You can return it by putting it in the box in the back on the connections counter or put it in the offering plate. You can also use the link in the digital bulletin to make an online pledge. Notice that there is no spot to fill out your name. This pledge is completely anonymous. This pledge is between you and God and no one else. The deacons will not be chasing you down in 2026 asking you to fulfill your pledge. We will be taking pledges until December 31st of this year. The first Sunday of every month is our designated collection Sunday for Faith Promise. On the first Sunday of the month, either use one of the pew envelopes and write Faith Promise on it, or you can write on the front of your regular giving envelope how much to designate to Faith Promise. So our plans for 2026. This year we plan to support 14 full-time missionaries, 2 mission organizations, fund our short-term missions, and also help with local outreach events. Our goal for 2026 is to raise $150,000. I know this is a big ask for family budgets that are already stretched thin with the continued rising cost of all of our own personal expenses. However, remember, all those that we support have to contend with the same rising costs of goods and services and the travel expenses. I remember meeting with a small group of men, some from this congregation, and we were talking to one of the missionaries we currently support. This guy could be making 6 figures in the business world, but he really feels called to the ministry he's in. He started to break down, describing how his kids needed braces, but he didn't have room in his budget to get his kids braces. He didn't know what to do. I just had another conversation with another one of our missionaries, and they had the same dilemma. They're supporting their growing families, and they're struggling to provide for them while focusing on the work they feel called to do. So please prayerfully consider supporting Faith Promise, either with a monthly pledge or a one-time gift. If you feel called to go on a short-term mission trip, but feel it costs too much, talk to someone on the missions team. We intentionally set aside a portion of the pledges to support these types of trips for our members. If you have any questions, you can reach out to anyone on the Faith Promise missions team. These people are Dan Notaboom, Gordon Holly Van Buren, Brent and Kathy Miedema, Merle Bawalda, Natalie Jelsma, or myself. Again, on behalf of the Faith Promise missions team and all the missionaries we support, I'd like to say thank you. This year, we also look to intentionally get more involved within our local community. We plan to set aside a portion of our pledge funds to support local outreach opportunities. And here to tell us some more about that is Caleb.
Thank you, Tim. Yes, in case you do not know me, my name is Caleb Horges, and I serve here as the Director of Discipleship. And I get to talk about the amazing doors that God is opening for us to partner and to serve our community here in Caledonia. So a little over a year ago, we started the Outreach Committee, or as I've learned, it was a restart of the Outreach Committee. Faith Promise and the Outreach Committee were once united, and then they split because it was growing beyond capacity, and so we are reforming that partnership, and so we are really blessed. So I just want to take a moment to thank all of those who have served on this Outreach Committee in the past and have helped us with this restart. And those who are serving currently. So thank you to Kelsey Oatman, Bob Miedema, Jackie Scoopian, Bill Bohr, Nick Coster, Matt Raymond, Bryn Curtis, Shelley Kuipers, and Noah Miller. All these people have jumped into this committee and have either encouraged or have helped us open some of these doors that God is leading us to. And so God has opened doors of ministry opportunity at places like Davenport University. I've been talking with a guy there from InterVarsity. InterVarsity is the only Christian ministry that's active on that campus. And they're having gatherings of 50 students, and so there are ways that we can partner with them by bringing them meals and possibly even participating in their discipleship ministries. We're also forming a growing connection with Caledonia schools. So Jackie Scoopian and I, a couple weeks ago, had the opportunity to sit down with Mr. Huck from Caledonia Elementary, which anytime that church leaders can sit down with public school leaders, I consider that to be a huge win. And so we're really excited about that. And he expressed some of the needs that they're facing. And well, he's looking for people who might be willing to go in and read on a regular basis to students there. So if you're interested in that, that's another option. In addition to this, the Christmas season is coming, and you've probably watched some of these events happen in years past. But we, every year, go down to the Caledonia Village Christmas Parade, and we've done a S'more booth there for the past couple of years. And so we're going to be looking for some people to staff that, as well as later, about a week later, we host the Caledonia Christmas celebration here at this church. Bryn Curtis has put that on for the past several years. And going to the Village Christmas Parade and then hosting that about a week later has been one of the greatest successes in bringing people from the community into our building for the first time. So we really believe in that, and that is a huge win that we want to celebrate as well. And so this is where I want to invite you all into what God is doing here in Caledonia. So you'll notice at the bottom of the pledge card this year, there is a place where you can write in your name and your email for outreach team involvement. So if you would like to join in on this, or really, at this point I'm just asking, are you willing to be contacted? That's all I'm asking. Are you willing to be contacted about the outreach ministries of this church? And so please put your name, your email, and then any special skills you could offer. So if you're really good with your hands and manual labor, I said to someone, I can't do a thing, so I rely on others. And so if you are willing to serve in that way, or maybe you're willing to bring a meal to Davenport or something like that, or if you wanted to go about it like this and you say, I'm really passionate about Caledonia schools, write that in there, or Davenport, same thing. So, for example, in a couple of weeks, we'll be looking for people to staff those Christmas events. And so we would love to have you participate and join in the work that God is doing. A good friend and mentor says to me frequently, Caleb, are you willing to put your yes on the table and allow God to ask the question? That's what I'm inviting you all to do right now. And you can come talk to me, you can come ask me questions, or you can reach out to us at outreach@caledoniacrc.org. We're so excited to see the ways that God is going to work in and through this church to bring this community the good news of the gospel. Thank you.